Talenza, we're going to be hosting and highlighting a number of businesses that are thriving through this downturn, and we want to obviously bring you a wide range in. Today, we have got Neil, who is the co-founder of Referoo, which is automation of reference checking. So welcome, Neil. Thank you for being part of the series, but I'll hand it over to you to give yourself a little bit of an intro of how a civil engineer got into recruitment.
Yeah, it goes back a little while, thanks, Sully. Yeah, essentially, I got into sales about 15 years ago. I ran a couple of the largest, actually, door-to-door sales teams in the UK and in Australia. And through my entire experience of that, I was a referee a lot. And I don't know if you've been a referee, but anybody who has can tell you it's a fairly painful experience as a referee. It's a poorly timed phone call or a dodgy Word document or something like that. And I just thought we could do something better, and it coincided with my co-founder, Chris, who was in recruitment, pointing at me one night that, he was trying to chase down 3 referees, and he's having a nightmare, and he tried to place this guy before Friday, and I think the whole deal fell apart because he couldn't get his references done. And we just found ourselves in a space where we thought we should probably have a look and see if there's something we could do that would be better than that. I phoned up my mate, he's a developer, and he's like, "Yeah, cool, for $5,000 I can build that." And $100,000 later, and we have our product. So, that's essentially Referoo's story of how we came into existence. And come next week, the 6th of May, we'll be 2 years old in the market. So that's how we are where we are.
So, was there any other inspiration behind setting up Referoo?
Look, not at the time. It was really just we saw this gap in the market. There is another couple of people out there who do something similar. We never came across them, so you could probably put it down to a poor ability to Google reference checks. It's another reason. We just thought that there's a way to do a different solution. Most people will say, look, we save you a certain amount of time. That time is worth X. We'll charge you slightly less, so there's a per reference check kind of cost. We think is like most SaaS models, you just subscribe to use our software, and off you go and do all the reference checks you want. So it's a different type of charging. So we felt there's maybe a gap there that wasn't being looked after in the world of software subscriptions. We felt that there was something there that we could enter.
Yeah, 100%. And for people that know or don't know, obviously we were one of your first customers. I think that's right. I always call Dan, one of my business partners, CTO. He's the geek. He looked into all things. So we were the first Cherry user for Australia. I think we were the first customer for you guys. Yep. That's we had set up a business on the basis of let's just set it up for the future, set up based on some of the best latest tech. And like you said, to be honest, doesn't matter which way you cut it up, whether it's taking the reference or conducting the reference. It's a time management thing. I certainly from running your own business or from being a recruiter, any time that you can recover and put towards actually your job. So actually, by using the product, helps you. I mean, everyone always bangs on in recruitment and in general life, they don't have enough time for things. And then obviously, I think part of that, automate the reference checking piece. It just removes, probably the excuses that you get from some recruiters in business. And then you've got your bases covered, candidates and reference checks, automated, it's on the CRM, and you future-proof yourself because obviously in the contract market, you can then use those references again. I'm an advocate for it. I think the reference checking takes time, automating that piece that is a manual role that always gets palmed off to either the administration team or that stuff. It's job.
Yeah, that's true. I think when we first got involved as well, we felt, it was just going to be a time-saving exercise. We would make a solution, we make it cheaper than everybody else, and people go, yes, we want to buy it. But we found that when we talked to yourselves straight away, like, yeah, that's not quite it. We want our reports to look quite good, so we had to redesign our reports. We talked to the team at Beaumont People, and they're like, yeah, we do phone references, so we had to build the ability to do phone references in it. We spoke to A myriad of people. People said, yeah, no, it has to, we're doing this for compliance with GDPR. All that stuff came up. So we had to increase the security on it. So I think that the problem we thought we were solving was just being this trying to save time. It turns out there's a whole lot of stuff that's in there. And because we're not really from the business, like Chris obviously was a recruiter, so he found himself doing a lot of reference checking. We didn't actually have the arrogance to say, this is how you do reference checks. We know that the people who know how to do reference checks are our clients. So everything that we've built has been listening to what our clients say, said, it should do that. And they're like, great, give us a day, we'll go build it. And we just build more and more and more stuff. We've got a very responsive team in Canada that's our developers. And it's just been great that we can build the best solution. And now 2 years down the line, when people say it'd be nice if it does that, you go, oh yeah, it does. I'll just turn that on for you. So you can make the solution wherever as complicated or as uncomplicated as you want, really.
And then obviously there's competitors out there like XREF and stuff. But do you feel that you guys have an edge on your competition, or what's your?
Look, I think the challenge. XREF have always been around much longer than ourselves. They're the sort of the granddaddies of the reference checking space in City, and they've really educated the market on why you need to have a digital reference. And some people, that's the right solution for their companies. What we have is a slightly more flexible solution, I think, built more for recruiters who want the flexibility to do a phone reference now, or I want to be able to send text messages and get that sent back and do something quickly, or have other ideas that we can build. Whereas our competitors are more, you pay them to do a reference check and it's kind of done on their time scale. So I think we have more flexibility, and because we're a small company, we can build product much faster and change and pivot and move things around quicker. So that's our advantage for just now.
What's it built on?
Ours is built on PHP, on MySQL. We've got Twilio we use for sending text messages out. SendGrid looks after all our emails that we send out. We've got one part of it is one of our clients has requested that we have on AWS, so we've done a migration to AWS for them as well. So we're very flexible, as I say, on what we can stick it out on.
I think a lot of people don't even understand who Twilio is, actually, because that's what Facebook and WhatsApp's built on. Pretty much, if you have Twilio, you wouldn't.
I build stuff in Twilio all the time. It's great.
It's kind of one of those unsung heroes, because without that, you wouldn't have Messenger or WhatsApp or hardly any of the Messenger channels. To be fair.
Yeah, I like them.
What's the next goals? And so, are you where you want it to be now? And then what's next?
Well, look, our goals are always to grow the business. You know, we started this company to sort of provide the best solution that we could, and we've not even saying it wasn't, so we could build an income for myself and for Chris, and that's what our goal was to do. We started out; it was slow at the beginning, as you'd expect. As we built our product and got better, we obviously had a lot of money in product development, so it was very, very lean operation as we grew and we started up. We're bootstrapped, we didn't have any external investment, so everything had to come from what we were building and what we were charging. So we found that at the beginning of 2019, in October, well, actually, the beginning, December 2018, we had a bit of a kick up the arse for Chris and ourselves. When the monthly recurring revenue is about $6,000 or $7,000 a month, we both found out that both our partners were pregnant during July. So I don't know if this is a unique method of motivating your internal sales team, which is just me and Chris, but we knew that we needed at least $30,000, so we need to 6x our sales in the space of 6 months. Otherwise, we were screwed. So we got, by the time the babies were born, and his was born on the 2nd of July, and mine was on the 23rd, we were up over 30,000 a month, so we could afford to run both our families and Referoos. So that was a shift in focus on what our goals were right at the very growth point from that. But our goals now is simply we want to get to 1 million monthly recurring revenue, and then on to 2 million later on. The plan was to have that done by October. There's this pesky pandemic has popped up, and
mate, if I do the maths, I'm not very good at maths, but I guess if you divide 30,000 for one child to get 2 million, you're going to be knocking out children to motivate staff.
Yeah, I've not thought of it, man. I'll get a spreadsheet on that one.
You're going to run out of names. Get the army. And have you guys set up yet? So that, I think obviously what I want from our audience as well, so we're also connected into other recruitment agencies and we'll obviously push it out through the RSA and all the rest of it. But
Yes.
if we have clients like, I don't know, whether it be ASX listed organisations or other end customers, Canvas, Atlassians, like, can those guys use your product as well?
Yeah. Well, we started off obviously focusing on recruiters, and that came through our integrations, first with Job Adder and then with Bullhorn, and that's mainly obviously recruitment focused. But at one point in 2018, we got approached by a large healthcare company. And they had a problem of having to, like 45 different aged care locations, having to solve recruitment and standardize a reference checking progress across all of that. So we started to listen more to what HR people wanted and built stuff around that, which included multiple different logins and SLAs and things like that, so that we could provide to the more enterprise clients. And from then, literally, we did such a good job with them that we got, I think, maybe another 20 clients off the back of that, all in aged care. So that certainly helped us in the pandemic time. But it is meant that we can provide a solution for enterprise clients that is different to what it is for recruitment companies. So recruitment companies, we have a part of our process which is collecting and working with referees as a business development tool. Very important to recruitment companies to use references in the business development process, not so much in the enterprise and HR departments. So we've kind of divulged it into two different solutions. So so something like Atlassian wants to come along and have a crack at using Referoo. Yes, we have a solution for them there. Yeah.
I think that's obviously where that's the piece, right? I think where maybe some of the competitors have obviously accelerated growth and revenue is because of the sheer numbers of hires that a large organisation would do. This is just one recruitment organisation. Obviously, you've got the larger recruitment beasts out there that do everything from pink, blue collar, white collar. But I think traditionally, in Australia, there's like 85% of agencies are less than 10 staff, so they're probably there's only a couple of hundred placements a year. So I think we're hopefully through this we can obviously push you and drive you guys to promote you in that sphere as well, because I think that's is needed as well. Those TA teams, internal teams struggle.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I think. Datacom at the minute was it in the news that hiring 2,000 people.
2,000 new people, yeah, that's crazy. Our reference checking, or like our healthcare sector, we've seen people double and triple the number of reference checks. Someone's like doing 100 references a day on staff, which is ridiculous, incredible. It doesn't affect Referoo. We're just moving electrons around and sending emails and text messages. So, it works very smoothly for them, and they can do that sort of stuff. But imagine trying to do reference checks on 100 people. It takes an hour to do a reference check. So there's 100 hours. That's 3 people's full-time job in a week. So there's some real savings there.
And I'm not trying to say to businesses to be able to cut people out of jobs, but you won't need 50 recruiters internally. When you actually look at the amount of time that's spent, you can actually probably reduce operational costs by automating. Right, that's the whole thing. Automation either makes you more efficient, or makes you more cost efficient, or just time efficient. Right, that's the whole piece.
Yep.
Automation is a scary world for a lot of people, but it's the future.
Yeah, that's leveraging your skills and your talents, isn't it? So basically, I think Greg Savage says, use your time to improve. Essentially, automate what is just a menial task, and use your skills to add value to your clients. So I think reference checking, certainly, if you're just doing the menial task part of it, it is something you can just flick and click, and that's it. But obviously, if you're talking to a reference who might be the hiring manager of a company, then that's something you might want to pick up the phone and use your talents to do a little bit of digging around and see if there's some jobs on and things there as well. So you need that flexibility, don't you?
Yeah, 100%. And in terms of, for people to actually understand then how simple this is, if someone calls you today and says, hey, I want to use Referoo, how quick is it to get set up as a new customer, the integration, what's involved, what's the speed?
So if you want to set up, literally takes half an hour. You can use the standard reference checks in Referoo that are there and just go straight out. It would take you maybe 5 minutes to set yourself up an account in Referoo. If you want to start introducing your own questionnaires and things like that, it would take you another 20 minutes to put the questionnaires up. And then you just go crazy and just do as many reference checks as you want. We've had, funnily enough, a year ago, we had a client who said, look, I don't have time to do a free trial. We offer free trials as well because I'm too busy chasing referees. And we actually had to say to her, look, stop. I'll set up the account whilst we're on the phone, and then we'll just upload your next 20 referees. And next day she's on the phone to us saying, this is amazing, it's fantastic. I've got the rest of the week, I can actually do my work again. But she was too busy chasing referees to do a free trial of referees. It's, crazy.
And I'm a user. I pay for the service, and I can definitely advocate. And you also just general think of human nature. That mobile phone is in their hand, and obviously maybe post-COVID, when we go back to the normality of people getting trains and buses and all the rest of it, they're more likely to do it then on their downtime. People have a job, like that's why referees are so hard to do. But being able to do it at the end of your fingertips, or start it and then pause and then finish it later, is the beauty, I think, of the
100%. We have, and especially in the blue collar and in the healthcare as well, we've got nurses who don't have access to computers and doctors who are not at a computer during the day. But they have to do references. We have to keep hiring healthcare professionals in a situation, and we developed basically a multiple choice questionnaire called the Health Rep. And it can be done in 2 minutes, and it can be done in any format, but it's essentially text to your phone, pure tick, 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 and it's done. And that gives you the same sort of reference as you normally get, but really just cut down and give you that really important information concisely. And doctors and nurses and healthcare professionals coming back and saying, this is fantastic. We spotted that about 3 weeks ago, the opportunity to build something, and we built it overnight and launched it the next day to our users, and they love it.
Well, not to take too much of your time, but I think for anyone who's watching this, in simple, automation reference checking can save you money, can save you time. The beauty of the integration is it takes 5 minutes to be set up on the Referoo platform. You can pivot and have as many templates as you want. So if you want to do a reference check that be client pending as well, right, they can do that, right? So if you're working with one client, they have certain requirements, you can change it, and the thing, within a 2 minutes, like, of editing the profile and add a new template. So I think certainly from a user perspective, that I've used it, we use it, we advocate it. I certainly, I wouldn't say I'm the greatest technologist out there. I'm more, I think, just general impatient, and I don't really like doing the admin. So actually, the simplicity of using it, and also the behind theory of actually saving time for me, absolutely is a lifesaver. So thank you for actually helping us as an industry and adding value and automating and removing a lot of the pain from reference checking, and hope you stay healthy, and good luck with the business for the rest of the year.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Thanks for your time.